It is the Sammie Nicole and FeeFee show, and we are the dynamic mother-daughter duo. And we basically have our own YouTube show, basically where we discuss all things love, life, and relationships. And we are back with you all tonight. And so, Mom, what is tonight's topic?
Did he do it?
Ooh, did he do it? Child, did what?
Well, we are talking about Fabulous and Emily B. Did he do it? Did he punch her in her mouth and knock
7 times
and knock her teeth out?
to where they had to remove her 2 front teeth?
Did he do it? Well, we often say that, we were not there. We don't know what happened. But from the TMZ video, something definitely has been happening between the two of them.
Yes, where there's smoke, there's definitely fire. There's
Yes.
no denouncing that.
Yes, and we know that domestic violence is not condoned in any way, whether it's verbally, physically, or emotionally, but there's definitely something going on between the two of them. I don't know if you guys have seen the TMZ video.
It was on the Shade Room, or you can go to tmz.com, but pretty much on the video, do you want to tell them what happened on the video?
Well, pretty much on the video, it looks like her dad and her brother came in her defense to get her or to jump on him, to retaliate in some type of way.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. All of this is allegedly.
Everything we say is allegedly.
But it looks like her dad and her brother came to her defense, and Fabulous was saying, "Why do you have them at my house? What's going on?" And Fabulous told the dad, "I have a bullet with your name on it."
When,
So
as soon as you get back to New
he's
York.
real aggressive, and he's bucking at Emily.
And it looked like he had an object in his hand. It looked like it was a knife, allegedly. But he was just like lunging towards her, and she was shrieking back like, "Oh, back!" No,
and you could tell that he maybe he's done that before, because she's kind of intimidated,
very much so,
fearful of her, herself,
using a lot of physical, intimidation,
and that right there is a form of abuse.
Absolutely. But the thing that really got me, Mom, I clicked on the comments. Why did I do that? Y'all, the comments, they were so disgusting. I mean, you had people saying, "Well, what did she do? What did she do to make Fab go off like that?" Or, "This is normal. Sometimes people go through this in relationships. Just thank God if you've never experienced it."
So sad.
"You need to stay out of people's business. You're breaking up the black family, posting stuff like this.
Condoning that behavior.
He's a good guy. We're not going to let y'all depict Fabulous to be a bad guy. He's gone through his career 20 years with no incident. And now you guys want to try to ruin his reputation? I mean, we don't know all the facts. I mean, y'all, people were just giving excuse after excuse after excuse. And, you had some people who had some sense, and who were like, "This is disgusting, this is unacceptable, this is inappropriate." But I also saw a lot of comments that were in support of Fab and really like victim blaming Emily. Like it was super disgusting. Like I didn't realize, like, I guess a lot of people in the comment section, they were used to seeing domestic violence, so they felt like that was just a common aspect of a relationship for a man to put his hand on a woman or to try to physically intimidate her, which is extremely sick and dysfunctional.
So sad, because by no means should anyone feel like they should put their hands on you. And just from my experience as a young woman, when I was 19, I dated a young man, and we had went out, and for whatever reason, he felt he could push me, and he pushed me, and I lost my balance. And I remember distinctly that night how it went down. He stayed on 21st Avenue, and I stayed on 3rd. That one time he pushed me.
What happened after he pushed you?
After he pushed me, I got up, and I was screaming and hollering. But what I did is I walked home. I didn't want to have any more dealings with him. I wasn't getting in the car to let him take me to my home. I walked from 21st Avenue to 3rd Avenue midnight. It might have been midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I walked home, and I didn't have anything else to do with him. Now let me tell you how abusive abuser is. Let me tell you how they manipulate and try to flip the script on you. The next day, that young man came to my parents' house with flowers, with roses, knocked on my parents' door.
Classic
I didn't tell my
behavior,
parents.
y'all.
I didn't tell my dad because my dad would have went off. My parents would have went off if they knew that this young man had done something to me the prior night and then showed up at my parents' home. He knocked on the door. I went to the door with this door locked, the security door locked, and I was like, why are you at my house? Get away from my home. I don't want to have anything else to do with you. It's done. It's over. And I never spoke to that young man again. So once you know that that particular person has that tendency to be abusive, you need to let it go, because you're going to see signs of abuse. Come to find out, that was in that young...
That was the red flag.
That was the red flag. And not only that, that was in his DNA.
His pathology.
His pathology. That was in his pathology. His father was abusive to his mother. So he saw his mother get abused by his father. So in his relationships, he started to abuse as a young man.
Wow.
So there are going to be red flags. You have to just walk away, leave it alone, because it's not worth dishonoring yourself. You are worthy of so much more than someone abusing you. Like I said, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally.
A lot of times it starts off verbally and emotionally.
Right, a lot of times.
And then it escalates to becoming, physical abuse.
Right, but I didn't like that feeling. I didn't like that feeling of feeling like that I was being overtaken.
And how old were you?
19.
Wow.
I didn't like that feeling that I was being overtaken by someone, and I felt I didn't have any control. I knew I couldn't fight him, but I knew that I could not have anything else to do with him. I knew that I didn't want to have any part of being in a domestic violence relationship. So that was the end of that.
Yeah, I was on Instagram the other day, and for those of you who follow Amanda Seales, she's Tiffany from Insecure, and she's a writer, has her own podcast, and she's definitely like a social activist. She's just really dope. But she made a post basically just sharing information. Definitely check out her IG. She definitely uses her platform to educate and inform people. And so one post that she shared was pretty much just talking about the different reasons why some women may stay in abusive relationships. Because a lot of times, even on the Shade Room, when that video came out, that TMZ video came out about Fab and Emily B, people are like, well, why is she staying? She can leave. She probably just with him for the money.
Even
Or
after
da-da-da-da-da.
they're saying that she's contacted Fabulous even after the incident with her father and her brother.
Right. And one of the, going back to what Amanda Seales was sharing, she was just basically saying from an article that she shared on her platform, basically saying that, let me get it out. She was basically saying that some women may deal with self-esteem issues, or they may be in fear that their partner will retaliate against them if they leave, or if they have children with their partners. They don't want to break up their family, or if they are, say for instance, if someone is an immigrant to another country and they don't want to go to the authorities because that may affect their immigration status, or if they are, they can't make it on their own, they're financially dependent on their partner, maybe they're out of work, maybe they're a stay-at-home mom, or maybe they're disabled, so they can't necessarily work at the moment.
So out there to help you.
It's just various reasons why they may choose to stay. And it was also really interesting because somebody posted on Instagram like old Love and Hip Hop episodes, like when Emily B was on there, like the first couple of seasons she was on Love and Hip Hop New York, and she was pretty much like conversing with Tierra Marie and just talking about how like dysfunctional her relationship was with Fab at that time. So they've been going back and forth for like over 10 plus years. It's been a tumultuous relationship
without him.
Yes. And so basically when she was conversing with Tierra Marie, she was just saying how they had an agreement, her and Fab, that she would step away just so they can have time, to themselves to figure out if they want to stay together or not, and if they want to get back together. She said they gave each other like a year or so or whatever.
Mhm.
And so she said they gave each other a year,
Mhm.
and after that year, she was saying to Tia Marie that she realized she didn't want to live without him, and she couldn't live without him.
Wow.
And she just started breaking down crying, and she was like, you know, I took the time, all the time that I needed to figure out if I wanted to live without Fab, and I can't, and I don't. And it was just so heartbreaking. Like, she was just tears streaming down her face. Another mere mortal human being, somebody who, you know, who's vulnerable, just a mere human being. You know what I mean? Full of
And that's when
you know,
need to take. If you feel like that, that's when you need to say, okay.
And she's like,